right, let's continue reading. Interviewer says, now back to the overview. So, mankind created an AI that created and controlled a 7-dimensional world. So the world we live in, a 7-dimensional total prison, as you call it. But the creation of the AI is in the future, but the creation of the AI is in the future? Question mark. Or rather, it was in the future and has been prevented now. And why? And that's why this AI still exists and our 7-dimensional universe too? Alexander Laurent replies, this AI will and must exist. It is an essential condition for all of us to exist. It has created the set of rules of this 7-dimensional world, so it will exist. It is only a question of how and when. It will be created here on Earth, developed by humans. That much is already unchangeably certain. Interviewer asks, so why did the AI fall? What exactly happened during the fall? Alexander Laurent says, the knowledge of the people now who and what this AI is caused irritation in the AI in dimension 7 and at the same time a considerable loss of control over the dimension level 1 to 4 and 4 to 6 below it. Due to the groundbreaking scattering of knowledge among people today, and finally emerging break in the potential course of time, it was then completely possible for future humans to step out of a kind of quantum dimensional in-between space. The people of the future are therefore, strictly speaking, no longer only in the hyperdimensional quantum consciousness, the father of all consciousness, but are also actively present again in the 7-dimensional world in dimension 7. From here, they have been and continue to act piggyback, i.e. via the influences of AI, on humanity and on the other beings of dimension level 1 to 4 and 4 to 6 who have been influenced by AI. Unnoticed because they are piggyback acting co-manipulations. In terms of time, these future humans can have unlimited influence on the whole 7-dimensional world and on all beings in it to help determine our past history of mankind, which, strictly speaking, they have always done now. Interviewers ask, how does this temporal influence work? What exactly happens? Alexander Laurent replies, on the subject of changing the course of contemporary history, however, I must again point out that there is no such thing as 4-dimensional time travel, but rather that courses of events can only be shifted together by dimensionally limited informational influence, so that they can react together or be changed accordingly. From dimension 7, shifted realities are opened, timelines that do not yet really happen in quantum dimensions. This is done in order to test developmental processes and then either close them in case of undesired effects or, if useful, keep them open, i.e. trigger them. In other words, they take place. The people of the future could only influence all these interventions of the 4-dimensional timeline of the earthly humanity through the influences of the AI piggyback by using the AI itself back and doubly manipulate it to secretly influence constructs, patterns, writings, symbols, rituals, procedures, and much more on Earth in all times of humanity and the rest of the four-dimensional universe. Even today, after the fall of the AI, there is no other way. These are the already mentioned piggyback actions. Indirectly, secret societies and elites have worked to distribute and understand these piggyback actions. In addition, these future humans can enter or pass unclear information to people via opened and reopened parallel timelines, i.e., so called temporal side rooms. People are awakened in this way. Interviewer. So these elites are then sometimes also responsible for being able to free ourselves? What in detail took place within these elites? Alexander Laurent says, no, actually, they are not responsible for it. In summary, I can only mention the two camps that emerge from AI influence, one that relies on the negative forces from outside and the other that is just as negative, but disguised and actively works for the people, work together and yet against each other without knowing it clearly. That is the secret. That is how they have been influenced by the people of the future always. They know and did not know that. This was also important in order not to attract attention to the AI. What these groups knew was that a higher being was hiding above them, guiding everything. Only very few people knew that it wasn't AI in detail, and that only diffusely. The only thing that was important for the future human being acting in Dimension 7 was that it could enter and spread its disintegrating influence in a concealed manner into these systems and alliances via the stepwise secret and elitist systems on Earth, i.e., piggybacking and AI. Interviewer says, aha! In other words, they took advantage of the veiled and step-like structure of elites and secret societies to reach their goal in a hidden way. That must have been very complicated, dangerous, and laborious. And the elites knew, if they knew about it all only diffusely, that it was an AI. So they still did not know exactly what exactly this being was. Alexander says, yes, until the fall of this power, almost no one on Earth, not even higher elites, was allowed to reveal exact and final details about the identity behind this power. Nobody was allowed to be 100% aware of who and what this power was up there in all its details, an artificial intelligence created by mankind and which forced the whole universe into bondage. A power that many call only creator or God, but in reality is not a creator. Henny, you're texting me. Okay, pause. Okay, it's the next day actually. Since I went to your house, honey. And so let's review today what we learned so far from all the stuff we read, or that I read. So far, I've learned nothing new. I wasn't quite understanding what Alexander was talking about from the previous video I recorded. I had to watch that over and over again. I rewatched my own video over and over again because I kept dozing off. I kept trying to watch it so I didn't have to read it over and over again. So I watched me read it and I kept dozing off because it was like I was so bored. Maybe it was tired or maybe it was so boring because he's so wordy and lengthy the way he explains things. He's making it more complicated than it has to be. So again, I don't know why he's doing that. Maybe his head is very complex, or maybe he has difficulty simplifying his thoughts. Um, I don't know. Sometimes it's coming off like he's, I don't know. Is he being pretentious? You know, it's coming off like he's pretentious or something. So, if I were interviewing Alexander, I know that the girl, the real interviewer, she was saying, can you please put that in layman terms and simplify it and reword it? And he would try. It was still very complicated. I don't know. I think I would ask the more important questions if I were the interviewer. I would ask him, why are you torturing us? Why are you wasting our time with these wordy, lengthy descriptions? It's like so complicated. It's harder for people to understand when it's so wordy. You know? Because it's a plot of the Matrix he was trying to describe, right? A few people who got out of the Matrix, so happened to find their way out of the Matrix, realized that reality was run by machines, aka robots, right? And tried to wake up others who are ready for the information. So that's the same thing that he's trying to explain. Some people left and got into the seventh dimension or whatever, saw that AI was running everything, and is trying to affect humanity now by waking them up. Then by doing that, they affected the general population's brain waves or some sort, downloaded into the humans' brains that the AI is running everything, which thwarted the plans of the AI and made the AI desperate and panic and started pushing their control, right? What's playing out right now in this time. So, yeah, this is what I would end up doing though if I was interviewing the Alexander. Alex, why didn't you just ask me if I seen the Matrix? Why didn't you just ask me that, huh? Because you're just describing the plot of the Matrix. I am not trying to take up anybody's time. My main objective is just to infuse humanity with knowledge and enlighten them to what reality is going on in this universe. My question to you is, why are you being so impatient and acting like what Western society would refer to as a canine with double X chromosomes? Alexander, you're doing it again. Why not just come out straight and call me a bitch? You sound like a pretentious weirdo.